Often people will ask us about the awards, and the GALA means Georgia Landscape Awards. And we've been having these awards programs uh, since UAC was started in 2011, but then at least 15 to 20 years prior to that when we were Malta. And it's always been a very, very popular uh, uh, membership benefit that our businesses can enter projects that they have worked on that they're proud of to receive awards. And there are many, many good reasons why people should enter. So the reason we have the awards is to promote to consumers is one reason, to encourage people to be interested in landscaping. We want to recognize the professionals in our association who are producing these amazing and outstanding landscapes. So innovative. It's interesting when you look over the years to see the different trends in landscaping projects and the type of work that our professionals are doing, as well as what consumers are interested in. It's really interesting to go back 20 years and see what was popular then as opposed to today. And it's funny how you see trends come and go and come back. You know, we our judges really look at superior workmanship and best management practices, and so we're recognizing companies who are incorporating that in their work. And finally, you know, we want to recognize the companies and the institutions that enter their awards that are doing this work for their interest in making it both a beautiful Georgia and a environmentally healthy, friendly Georgia, as well as the community stewardship awards that we give as well. So everyone who is a company who is a member of UAC is eligible to enter. And it can be from a one-person company to a company that has 500 employees. Small, medium, large businesses are all eligible. There are several different categories: design and build, installation, and maintenance. And I think it's interesting to note, often people don't think about an award for maintenance, but that is a very, very huge component of what many of our members do. And there's certainly excellent maintenance and some not so excellent maintenance, just as well as in design build. There are all types of projects that are eligible. Small space are for projects that are a 1,000 square feet or less, not part of a bigger project, but a standalone. And they can be anything from rooftops, courtyards, storefronts, just it runs the gamut. But it's really that category is for small space categories alone. Containers and seasonal color are another category that's always a real showstopper, and our members and the consumers who look at these just love the seasonal colors. And you can see a beautiful example of that right there on the screen. In the residential, we have different categories ranging from 50,000 to over 150,000. Commercial, three ranges from 75,000 to 500,000. And a separate category for lighting, which is always a very breathtaking category to view those lighting projects. And finally, for community stewardship. So rather than me talking and telling you all the great things about why you should enter, we invited Todd Gilmet, who's the president and owner of Unique Environmental Landscapes, to talk to you today about what their company does and their history with entering, and why the real positive reasons to enter for your business. So Todd, I'm going to let you take over.
Okay. Well, we got involved. We're a 33-year-old business, and we got involved very early with Malta. Yeah, finding a way to distinguish our brand, because we were a young company, and getting our message out there. And that's before the digital age really kind of kicked in. And as things evolved through, it gave us a venue to show our skill and talent, and also build a company brand and help distinguish what we were doing as a company. And being involved over those 30 plus years in submitting awards, what worked for us at the beginning as an entry, it changed as we got older, and there were other things we could look at and do. So it really is a takeoff point for a small company or even a mature company to be involved, to create, tie-in elements to your clients, to your employees, and to just kind of put it out there in different levels. I mean, when we first got involved, it was all about installation. And then we slowly moved into, the seasonal color and lighting. And, with all these categories available now, there's always a good niche to kind of fit into. As we kind of went through and built up how we started, we realized that submitting these awards was a multiple marketing tier approach, not simply doing a one-off, we do it once a year, but we realized we were creating a digital package and brochure information that we could use throughout the whole year. So it became a more of a market-driven approach, because our team always likes to be recognized for their achievements, but we also realized they work at a very high level. And as the company grew, you realize, okay, it became one thing and then it becomes another thing. So on the marketing side, it's been huge for us, because it allowed us to get out to our clients. It gave us information that showed in other publications throughout. Malta has been, and UAC was great at marketing outside of what we did as a company. And it kind of really put us, gave us a large footprint when we were a small company. And now as we've matured, we use it in a different way, And of course, the big thing is, you're building some positivity within your company. Seeing your employees get recognized for their hard work, it's huge. Even in a small company, I remember we won our first award, and telling everybody we did it, and just realizing, it was more than, as I would say, it was more than just me that made it happen. And then as we start to go through it, as we were submitting along the way, it's like we tell people, hey, this is going to be one we're going to put into our packet for a possible entry. And, they want to know how we did. And as our company got larger, we brought employees to the banquet, and it's a multi-tiered event. It's recognizing your company. It's, distinguishing your brand and creating a sales opportunity in a larger aspect. So I found it to be very beneficial, and as time went along, changing our approach to how we approached it was a really good idea. And of course, finally, it's why do you enter? And it's all about sales. This project we did here was marketed heavily. It's been used in other publications, but we approached it when we started to take our photos. It's like, this can show off a lot of things, a lot of details, a lot of creativity. And it also allowed us to market to other people, because they could see finished work. Sometimes, word of mouth, digital imaging and all that goes together to create a great reason why we do it. And after that first award, in subsequent awards, it started to parlay into this momentum that being involved in these, these events each year really created a lot of positive things for our company.
You said to me recently, earlier this spring, that you had just got a call out of the blue from someone who saw one of the award-winning projects, and you scored a big sale right there.
Yeah, it was, design build project residential. It was over $60,000, and we did nothing to get it, really. And that was a passive sale. And it all basically happened because of our involvement. Our awards were out there. The digital images of what we did were out there. And, when you can create sales without effort, that's the object of sales. We work hard each year to bring in new business and things. And when you start getting passive sales like that, design build projects or maintenance projects that we've got through some of our awards, I mean, that's huge. I mean, that just makes it simple.
But as Todd said, and I've heard this from so many of our companies, large and small. I think, to your point, when you were a smaller company, it did make you seem bigger, professional, and it's just a easy way to show people your work. Best marketing dollars you'll spend. It's, it's very inexpensive to enter the awards, and it's very expensive if you're creating a whole marketing package. So this is you're sort of killing two birds with one stone with this. From an association standpoint, we promote all of the award-winning entries on our website, and we have a consumer blog. We publish these on Houzz, Instagram, and Facebook, and certainly as other social media outlets come up, we'll do those as well. We put them in our magazine and in consumer magazine advertisements as well. And we get requests several times a year from regional and national, both landscape and consumer publications, websites, blogs, for permission to use the photos. And we always require them to give credit to the landscape company that has won the project. That is one of the things, when you do enter the awards, you do sign a waiver to release permission to publish your photographs and projects. And I can't think of a single company that's won an award that would say no, they don't want that to happen.
You create a leveraged marketing arm for a company, that we don't have to be involved with. And that's what I think is the great advantage, because you're out doing stuff for us as an organization and award winners. That is something, it's a passive way. And it's a strong point. I've seen in some of our publications where I've seen our stuff come up and I'm going like, wow, that's great. You guys are really helping us out there.
That's part of why you're a member of the association. We promote our industry as being professional. And by having these outstanding projects, that tells the story. So I wanted you to talk, if you would, since you're an expert at entering and putting together the right photographs and the right description and such. Give us some of your do's and don'ts and tips.
Well, it is a 12-month process. And that's the one thing I realized as we started doing it. It's not a finished product, take photos, wrap it up. But typically what I'll do is take a project and just go out every season, spring, summer, winter, fall, and take photos and kind of bring together a package or tell a story, because that's what you're really trying to do in very short words. And luckily, I was a judge one year, so I kind of saw it from the other side and realized how important this is storytelling. And, you want those pictures to be somewhat perfect. What we tend to do on our installs is we'll go back and we'll have our crew, with the client's permission, we'll go out there, we'll touch up pine straw, we'll mow the grass. When you take photos, it needs to be perfect. You wet down the pavement, you wet the stones, all the little things to make the vibrant colors of what you created come through. We typically will have 4 or 5 projects that we're possibly going to submit, and we're taking pictures all year long. And then we get down to the end and go, they're not strong enough. We're going to just do these. When we were a small company, our first one was one project. And I remember going out and taking the photos with the group, and we were tucking pine straw and making everything look perfect, because that's telling your story. Your photos tell your story, and the words behind it just kind of, give it the polish it needs. Putting a project up for submittal when it's not ready really kind of diminishes all the effort you've put into it. And so, patience and being meticulous and detailed when you take those photos. Daylight, I've gone to a property 3 times during the day to take photos because the light is different. It shows a different part of your creation of what's happened. And that applies to maintenance too. You can pattern cut a turf and go out there when the sun's coming up and one morning and it's throwing light on the grass and there's dew. That is, that's what sells your product of what you're creating, and even lighting at night. We submitted a lighting project. I took it when it was early, right as the sun set. I went, stayed there for about 2.5 hours and just took pictures as it changed. It's kind of evolved along.
And something that's very, very important is before and after photos,
Yeah.
particularly in the design build, and maintenance as well. But and getting them shooting from as much as you can the same angle, the same place, because that tells your story by itself.
Oh yeah, because as a judge, when you're looking at it, you're putting them right on the job site, looking at the same thing. So that before and after, if it's so clear that the change that has evolved, it makes it very easy for them to judge it and look at it at a different level. If they're trying to figure out where it's at, well, I think it's here. It doesn't show off what it should. Sometimes that takes a little bit more time to understand what you did, or how you got to that point of it.
Yeah. So I think I've asked you before, but do you do the photography yourself, or do you hire someone to do it?
Laura, my wife, and I pretty much do the photos. She's kind of a quasi photographer. I enjoy doing it because I like to capture, what we create. I have seen some submittals that have used drones. I think those are very effective on showing on larger projects, really showing, but again, if you do that, you need a before and after. An after of it is great, but I think when someone can look at a before and after on a drone shot, that would be something to really distinguish what's being done.
Well, one thing I did want to mention is that the entries are not judged against each other. They're judged on their own merits. There's a whole list of criteria that the judges look at when they basically rank each project. And the judges do a terrific job providing feedback. And that's something that both with projects that have won awards and the projects who may not win an award, the judges' comments are very constructive criticism. I know sometimes it's hard to take criticism, but that's how you learn. And Todd, I'm sure that you in your history, there have been.
I've been disappointed, and it's like and as a group we go, I cannot believe it didn't win a grand, a grand award. But again, you got to read what the judges say, and then So I would say if you submit and you don't get what you think you should have got, don't be discouraged, because in general, what it's trying to do what it did for us is it makes us better. We're looking at another detail. It's taking it to a different level. What did we not do well? And so, those are all things that kind of play into, being judged. You got to take a little criticism along the way.
Right. It's, we've had people who have not been happy, but then they reflect on it, and 9 times out of 10, they'll when I talk to them a second time, I understand. I see what the issues they gain experience from that, and it helps them with their projects the next year. So Kathy, I'm going to let you talk for a few minutes about the process.
Okay. My name is Kathy Johnson, and chances are when you submit your entry, I'm going to be one of the first people who takes a look at it. It's kind of like Christmas. I love it to look at all the projects as they come in. And it can seem kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of detail in submitting an entry, but if you can just reach out to us anytime, we've got information there. That's my email at the bottom and our phone number. Call us if you have any questions. We would much rather you reach out and ask us the questions during the process than have you get stuck along the way. So give us a call and let us help you through that. The web address that's there has just about everything you need to know. And the first thing I would suggest is go there and establish which category your project belongs in, download the worksheet, and just take a look at what all is required. And that'll give you a good start.
We have something new this year for people who've never entered before, or even if it's a second time. We're going to do something called First Take Feedback, and if you'll send us 3 from your photos and the captions that you've written from, and we'll Kathy and I will take a look at them and give you some feedback. We're not going to help you write your descriptions, but well, I think what it'll do help us get you on the right track if you're not. It could be something as simple as you don't be so wordy in your caption, things like that, or you need to do make sure your photographs are clearer, not blurry. I can say this: we're not going to give you an advantage or a disadvantage from entering, but just to give you a little bit of help to get you going.
A lot of times when you're immersed in a project and you're there and you're working on it every day, maybe you kind of take for granted some of the details that aren't clear to an outsider who's not familiar with the project. So if you send us some photos and there's some missing piece or something that we just don't get or understand about the story you're trying to tell, maybe we can head you in the right direction on that.
I would add one little thing on that, the best thing to do is start on these ahead of time. We typically start 6 months ahead of time and slowly work through them. It makes it much easier to do that than wait as you get towards the end, towards the submittal date, because then you tend to leave some of the details off or you miss the picture. So the process is not a decide to do it, fill it out. It's a 6 to 12 month process.
And all of those dates are on our website, front and center, of when the entries are and when the judging and stuff will be. So Kathy, quickly, you want to just talk about the different steps?
Sure. We've broken it down into 6 steps to go through this process. And this is the first one. At the bottom, you can see the web address there of the page that we're showing. The first thing is to decide which category your project belongs in. And it's all delineated there. You can see and pretty quickly decide where you belong. And then on the right-hand side, you can see links to download more information. So you can go see the judging criteria, which is critical. And you can download your worksheet and get started. The other thing I'd point out on the right-hand side there is that you can go view award-winning projects. So you can go there and look at projects that have won awards over the past years and just kind of get a feel of what other people are doing and what they've entered. The second step is to go to that worksheet. I keep talking about that worksheet, but it's really so important. Once you get to the process of actually going online and submitting your project with that entry form, you can't stop it and come back to it later. You have to enter everything at one time and submit it. So what we've done is we've created a worksheet. It's a Word document that you can download, and that mirrors the online form. So you can use that as a worksheet. Just download it to your desktop, save it as you go along, and that makes it so it's an ongoing process. Like Todd was saying, you don't have to do everything all at once. If you've got a couple pictures, go ahead and enter them into your worksheet, come up with captions for them, get that little piece of it done. It's a little whittling process, so everything's not left to the last minute. So first thing really is get your worksheet, take a look at it, get some sense of whether you have everything you need to be able to enter that project this year. Then the third step, this is actually a capture of a worksheet for group 1. So you can see the kinds of information that is required. Has it been previously submitted? Is the project owned by the entering company? That's one of the criteria. And it's a fairly long document, but it really walks you through everything you need to be able to enter something. Then this is the screen capture of the actual online form that you would be filling out. So you take your worksheet, which has all these same questions on it, and you just plug in. You can copy and paste, and you can upload your photos there. Just use this actually to actually submit your entry. And step 5 and 6, you just fill out your payment information and push the submit button, and then you're done.
It's completely online. Back in the old days, you had to submit actual photos and
Slides.
That's right. I think I still have one of those round slide carousels, and I think that's a terrific photo, Kathy, that you found. Don't be afraid. We're here to help. We're always here. Email Kathy, call us. We can help you through the process. We can't look at your project and say, oh yeah, you're definitely going to win an award, or you're not. that's not what we do. But we can certainly help you through the process of entering.
Yeah, I think that'll take a lot of the edge off of a younger company that's submitting for the first time to have some feedback like that, because we didn't have it when we did it. So I think that's really a great thing you're offering there.
Younger, newer companies out there that are doing terrific work. So we're really encouraging them to, first of all, for them to become members, and then to enter the awards. And when you're at that awards banquet, Todd, you know it is so exciting. It's just a great event where everyone is so happy to see everyone else's work.
It is nice because we're celebrating everybody's effort in raising the bar and making sure the people who made the effort to get it done are recognized. So I think it's a great event to be at. We've enjoyed it over the years, bringing employees along, seeing old friends, and again, seeing some of, we don't create all the great stuff. There are great companies here in Atlanta and in the Georgia area that create a lot of great things. So it's great to share it with everybody.
Well, we thank you for all of your tremendous insight and help and encouraging folks to enter. And we look forward to seeing what you're going to enter for our next projects. Once again, Kathy at georgiauac.com, urbanagcouncil.com is the website, and you can find right at the very top of the page, there's several links, one to GALA, and that'll take you right to all the information and previous award-winning projects for you. Don't hesitate to contact us, and we look forward to seeing your projects. Thank you, everybody.